Good morning, students. We were doing the chapter of data handling, and the next topic in this chapter is bar graph, or you can say bar chart, one and the same thing. So, let's start with this topic. Now, before this, we have done telemarks, pictographs also to represent the data. Now, after working with pictographs, pictograph is the pictorial representation of the data. So, after working with pictographs, we observe that it is easy and effective way to represent data, but it becomes difficult to represent the data sometimes using pictures. Suppose if we have very large data, then it becomes difficult for us to sometimes think of the scale, what type of scale do we need. Also, pictograph is subjective. Subjective means it differ from one person to another person. Suppose I have chosen the scale, one picture is equals to 100 quantities. The other can choose one picture is equal to 50 quantities. And suppose if I want to write 50 things, then I can draw a semicircle or I can draw a full circle according to my convenience. So this is subjective. It depends upon one person to another person. To overcome these limitations, we have a new way of representing the data, that is bar graph. Now, what is there in the bar graph? A bar graph is also called as bar chart, as I already told you. This is a graphical display of data using bars of different heights. We use bars, rectangular bars in the form of rectangles of different heights. Now these heights depends upon the frequencies. We will see the example. Suppose we want to find which is the nicest fruit. We have done a survey of 145 people, asked them which is the nicest fruit. Now the option for the fruits are apple. 35 people told that they like apple. This is the best fruit. 30 people say that the nicest fruit is orange. 10 people say that the nicest fruit is banana. 25 people likes kiwi fruit. 40 people likes blueberry, and 5 persons like grapes. Now I want to draw a bar graph for this data. How will I do? The quantity on the horizontal axis. Now we have two axes, one is the horizontal axis and other is the vertical axis. On the horizontal axis, I am writing about the names of the fruits: apple, orange, banana, kiwi fruit, blueberry and grapes. And on the vertical axis, I am going to draw the number of people. I'm going to write the number of people. Always remember the gaps should be same. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 like this. Now 35 people like apple. So I will raise this bar to the height of 35 till here. So I will form a rectangle till the height of 35. Then I will leave some gap in between. Then I have 30 people like orange. So the height of the orange bar will be till 30. Similarly for banana, it will be 10. For kiwi fruit, it will be 25. For blueberry, it will be 40. Similarly for grapes, it will be 5. So it means these numbers tells us about the frequency, or you can say the heights of the bars. This is known as the vertical bar graph. The other way of drawing the bar graph is the horizontal bar graph. In horizontal bar graph, what we do, we write the frequencies on the horizontal axis and the labeling is done on the vertical axis. This is also a type of bar graph. This is known as horizontal bar graph and the previous one is known as the vertical bar graph. Next example of the bar graph is the student grades. Suppose in a recent test, this many students got these grades. A grade is scored by 4 students, B grade is scored by 12 students, then 10 students got C grade and 2 students got D grade. I want to draw the bar graph for this. Now the frequencies we are going to plot on the vertical axis. If we are drawing the vertical bar graph, the frequencies are always on the vertical side. And here I am going to do the labeling: A grade, B grade, C grade and D grade. Now A grade is scored by 4 students, so I will raise the height of this bar till 4. Now see, the gaps are 0, 5, 10, 15. So 4 will come near 5. Then B grade is scored by 12 students. So after 10, suppose this is 11, 12, like this. Similarly for C grade and the D grade. Now what are the properties of bar graphs? As we have already seen, it consists of rectangular bars of equal width. The width of all the bars should be equal. You can see here, the width of all the bars is equal. The height may differ, but width is always the same. Next, the space between two consecutive bars must be the same. You can see the gap between the two consecutive bars is always the same. Bars can be marked both vertically and horizontally, but normally we use vertical bars. As we have already discussed, the graph can be plotted in the horizontal or in the vertical direction, but normally we prefer vertical bars. Next is, the height of bar represents the frequency of the corresponding observation. As I have already told you, the height of the bar tells us about the frequency, how many times the thing is repeating. So that frequency decides the height of the bar. Along the horizontal axis, choose the uniform width of bars and uniform gap between the bars and write the names of the data items whose values are to be marked. So here we have taken the equal gaps. Here also we have taken the equal gaps. In this graph also the equal gaps. The widths are also equal. The markings are done here. So this is about this point. Next, along the vertical axis, choose a suitable scale in order to determine the heights of the bar for the given values. Frequency is taken along the y-axis. As I already told you, we write the frequency along the y-axis, the number of times the thing is repeating. So we have to choose a suitable scale for this. Suppose here in the previous graph, the scale was 0, 5, 10, 15. So we have taken the gaps of 5. Here also we have taken the gaps of 5, 0, 5, 10, 15. So it depends upon the type of data. Here we have the minimum value 5, the maximum value is 35. So we can have the gaps of 5. If we have larger data, like the minimum value is 7 and the maximum value is 100, then we can have the gap of 10 as well. So it all depends upon the question. Next, calculate the heights of the bar according to the scale chosen and draw the bars. So this is simple. You have to draw the bars according to what is the frequency. This is again an example of the bar graph, which gives us the information of the number of children involved in different activities. Now the activities are marked on the horizontal axis: dance, music, art, cricket and football, and on the vertical axis the number of students. Now you can see in the dance is having the height of 30. So 30 students are engaged in dance activity. Now this music activity is taken by 40 students. So you can read the graph like this. What is the height? Then you can see on the y-axis, vertical axis, in front of this is 40. It means 40 students are interested in music activity. Similarly, if I talk about the art activity, 25 students. Now 20 and 30, in between, middle of these two will be 25. So 25 students are engaged in art activity. Similarly, for cricket we have 20 students and for football we have 35 students. Next is the question. This bar graph shows the maximum temperatures in degrees Celsius in different cities on a certain day in February. Observe the graph and answer the questions. First question is, what data is shown on the vertical and the horizontal lines? You can see easily on the vertical we have temperature in degrees Celsius, and on the horizontal line we have different cities. Second question is, which city had the highest temperature? Highest temperature means the maximum temperature. Now you can see from here that this bar is having the greatest height, that is 35. What is the name of this city? The name of the city is Chandrapur. So Chandrapur is the city which has the highest temperature, that is 35 degree. Next question is, which cities had equal maximum temperatures? Equal maximum temperatures. Maximum temperatures means the highest temperature in the city. Now you can see this city is having 30 temperature, maximum 30 temperature, and this city is also having the maximum 30 temperature. So Pune and Nashik, these are the two cities which have the same maximum temperature. Next, which cities had a maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius? Again, Pune and Nashik are the two cities which have the maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius. Next is, what is the difference between the maximum temperatures of Panchgani and Chandrapur? Now Panchgani and Chandrapur, the maximum temperature of Chandrapur is 35, the maximum temperature of Panchgani is 25, so the difference is 35 minus 25, that is 10 degrees Celsius. So this is the difference. Next is, read the bar graph shown in the figure and answer the following questions. What is the information given by the bar graph? Now the information is the number of tickets sold, and here we have the year. In which year, in which city, how many tickets are sold. So the bar graph represents the number of tickets of different state lotteries sold by an agent on a day. Next, how many tickets of Assam state lottery were sold by the agent? Now you can see Assam. So in front of this we will see the frequency. The frequency is 40. So 40 tickets of Assam state lottery were sold by the agent. Next is, of which state were the maximum number of tickets sold? Maximum means the highest frequency. That is, this is for the city Haryana. So the maximum number of tickets were sold in the state of Haryana. Next, state whether true or false. The maximum number of tickets sold is 3 times the minimum number of tickets sold. Now the maximum number of tickets sold is 100. The minimum numbers of tickets sold is 20. They are asking the maximum number of tickets sold is 3 times the minimum number of tickets sold. Now minimum is 20, its 3 times will be 60. But the maximum is 100, so the statement is false. Because maximum vertical length is 100 and minimum is 20. So the maximum number of lottery sold for one state is 100 and minimum is 20. So the statement is false. Next, of which state were the minimum number of tickets sold? Minimum number of tickets is sold for Rajasthan. So you can see clearly, we can see the bar graph. The bar graph for which the height is minimum, it means that state was the minimum number of tickets sold. So Rajasthan is the state for which the minimum number of tickets are sold. Next question is the home assignment. Read the following graph and answer the following questions. This is the graph. What information is given by the graph? What was the production of cement in the year 1980 to 1981? What is the minimum and maximum productions of cement and corresponding years? Do the homework very clearly in your notebooks. Thank you. Have a nice day.